Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. What Lakers fans hope is that manager Rob Pelinka presses the button and brings players with defensive and offensive skills to the Lakers, with the aim of seeking the playoffs and an 18th championship. The trade deadline is approaching and there will be many options on the market. All it takes is Rob Pelinka to bring in players who fit in with the current squad. Trade suggestion: 2 great players are targeted by the Lakers at the trade deadline. The Lakers' defense has been as porous as a sieve lately. To shore things up, here are 5 defensive stalwarts they should target. With LeBron James doing everything he can at age 39 and Anthony Davis battling to stay healthy, the Lakers can't afford to let their defense slide. To tighten things up and get back on track, targeting a few defensive specialists is becoming less of an option and more of a necessity. Myles Turner. Potential trade offer: Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, 2029 first-round pick. Myles Turner and Lakers trade rumors are like peanut butter and jelly at this point. You can't have one without the other. The 6 feet 11 inches center is in the final year of his deal, earning $20 million this season, and he's set to hit free agency at the end of 2024-25. With the Pacers sitting at 10-14, their season isn't exactly trending in the right direction. If they're smart, they'll consider moving Turner before he potentially walks for nothing next summer. This year, Turner's putting up 15.5 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks per game while shooting the 3 at a very high 39.8% clip. His ability to stretch the floor makes him one of the most versatile big men in the league. Pairing him with Anthony Davis would give the Lakers an insane frontcourt. Imagine a defense anchored by 2 elite shot blockers who can also hit jumpers. That's a nightmare for opposing teams. The Lakers have been eyeing Turner for years. Every trade deadline, his name pops up in connection with them. And honestly, the fit is just too good to ignore. Turner can protect the rim when AD is on the bench, and his outside shooting would help space the floor for LeBron to operate. Plus, with AD's injury history, having another big man who can carry the load is a no-brainer. For the Pacers, moving Turner now makes a lot of sense. They're not exactly lighting it up in the standings after their surprising ECF run last season, and if Turner isn't planning to stick around, they might as well cash in while they can. A package of Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick would give them young pieces to develop and a future draft asset. This deal works for both teams. The Lakers would finally get their guy, someone who fits perfectly alongside their stars, while the Pacers wouldn't have to risk losing Turner for nothing in free agency. After years of rumors, maybe it's time to actually make this trade happen. Marcus Smart. Potential trade offer: D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Hood-Schifino, 2026 first-round pick, 2030 second-round pick, 2031 second-round pick. The Lakers reportedly looked at Marcus Smart as a potential defensive upgrade, and honestly, it makes a ton of sense. Smart has always been the kind of player who brings grit, leadership, and defensive intensity, which the Lakers could use in buckets right now. This season, he's averaging 9.8 points, 4.3 assists, and 1.5 steals, while being that guy who locks down the opposing team's best guard every night. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, are doing pretty well at 16-8, sitting near the top of the Western Conference. They've been solid on defense, but their outside shooting has been hit or miss. That's where D'Angelo Russell comes in. He's far from perfect, but he's a proven scorer who can hit from deep and take some of the offensive pressure off their young stars. Memphis could really use a guy who can create his own shot and space the floor consistently. Smart's value to the Lakers goes beyond the box score. He's the kind of player who sets the tone defensively and gets under opponents' skin. Adding him to the roster would help fix some of the Lakers' issues guarding the perimeter, which has been a glaring weakness this season. Plus, with his playoff experience and leadership, he's exactly the type of player who fits next to LeBron and AD. The trade wouldn't come cheap. Giving up D'Lo, Hood-Schifino, and multiple picks is a big ask, especially considering the Lakers don't have a lot of draft capital to begin with. But the front office knows they can't afford to waste time while LeBron is still playing at a high level. Getting a player like Smart could be the kind of move that pushes the team back into serious playoff contention. For Memphis, losing Smart wouldn't be ideal, but adding Russell could give their offense a much-needed boost. His ability to create offense and score in bunches might be enough to convince the Grizzlies to let go of their defensive leader. This trade idea is a gamble for both sides. The Lakers would be betting on Smart's defense outweighing the loss of scoring from Russell, while Memphis would have to decide if the offensive upgrade is worth losing the heart and soul of their defense. It's a bold move, but for a Lakers team trying to make the most of LeBron's final years, it might just be the right on. J.J. Redick exposes Lakers players for soft mentality despite Green's signal to foul rivals. The Los Angeles Lakers' brutal loss to the Miami Heat has sparked debates all across the sporting world. On one hand, some are asking if head coach J.J. Redick could not bring his players to play competitive basketball, while on the other hand, many are questioning if LeBron James and his teammates quit. The former has been clarified by many analysts who felt that abomination at the hands of the Heat had nothing to do with J.J. Redick. In fact, the first-year head coach had a game plan in mind just as he does in every game, but his players did not execute. In the game against the Miami Heat, former players felt the Los Angeles Lakers simply did not look interested in playing basketball, some even going to the extent of suggesting that partying in Miami may have played a hand in that embarrassment. J.J. Redick did take the blame on himself, but it was evident he was not the one to blame. Lakers beat writer Jovan Buha approached the first-year head coach to seek further answers about the debacle, to which Redick cited an example. J.J. Redick said he gave the Lakers permission for each player to pick up 3 off-ball fouls in the second half of the Miami loss to increase their physicality, and they were unable to do it. Jovan Buha, quoting J.J. Redick. This revelation suggests that the Los Angeles Lakers players looked soft, as they were unable to impose their physicality against a Heat team known to play physical basketball. Maybe Redick wanted his players to inflict some emotional damage through their physical play in order to turn the game around, but it did not work. J.J. Redick will enforce some rules going forward. The Los Angeles Lakers have looked downright horrible defensively in their past few games. Knowing that, Jovan Buha asked J.J. Redick how he plans to fix the defensive communication breakdowns his players have shown off late, to which he replied, "You take them out of the game." Jovan Buha, quoting J.J. Redick. For the former player to suggest means he is probably looking at enforcing tough rules going forward. Such a situation first played out in the third quarter of their loss to the Denver Nuggets. In those 12 minutes, players stopped executing what their 40-year-old head coach had asked them to do. In fact, they executed it in the first half, but did not bother to do it in that third quarter. That defensive breakdown was due to a lack of communication and effort. The effort part might come back, but without communication, it will be difficult to execute it. All of this sounds as if the head coach is starting to figure out what is wrong with this squad. NBA fans react to Bronny James' career-high 16-point outing in G League. Bronny James recorded 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block against the San Diego Clippers in the G League on his return from injury. Bronny James made his long-awaited return from injury in the South Bay Lakers' 119-111 win over the San Diego Clippers at UCLA Health Training Center on Saturday. James finished with a career-high 16 points, 6-15 FG, to go with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block on the night, and fans had some interesting reactions to his performance. "Demon is slowly waking up," one wrote. "James is slowly showing what he's capable of. 50% from 2 points range. Decent numbers. It's coming together," one fan thought James is starting to put it all together. One step at a time. Rome was not built in one day, one fan preached patience. 0/4 from 3 points? Like father like son, one fan roasted James for shooting poorly from 3 like his father LeBron James. Needs to work on the 3-point shot. Other than that solid game, one fan thought James played well but needs to work on his outside shot. James had last played in a game on November 17 against the Stockton Kings in the G League. The 20-year-old had been out with a left knee contusion since, so considering this outing against the Clippers was his first in 3 weeks, I'd say he played well. You can check out some highlights below.